Welcome to Global Business Environment. This is the first video of our lecture series and I am your lecturer Tyagi Guruge. Under this lecture, we are focusing on three key areas. First one, globalization. Second one, international business. And finally, the global business environment. Under globalization, I will pay you attention for five key areas. First one, introduction as well as definition for the globalization. Then I'm going to talk about three key definitions. Then history of globalization, conditions for globalization, then benefits as well as challenges of the globalization. Under this lecture, we are focusing on three key areas. First one, globalization. Second one, international business. And finally, the global business environment. In the next area, we are going to talk about the international business. Here we are going to learn the definition for international business, what are the benefits, as well as what are the issues facing by international business. Finally, under this lecture series, we are going to talk about the globalization business environment. Here we are going to identify the definitions for the global business environment as well as what are the factors involved in global business environment. Now let's learn what is globalization. Globalization is the interaction and integration of people, businesses and government from various countries. It is driven by international trade and investment and supported by information technology. Let's learn the definitions for globalization. The first definition is by World Health Organization. According to them, globalization can be defined as the increased interconnectedness and interdependence of people and countries. It is generally understood to include two interrelated elements: the opening international borders to increase in the fast flow of goods, services, finance, people and ideas, as well as the changes in institutions and policies at national and international level that facilitate or promote such flows. Our next definition is from the International Monetary Fund. According to them, globalization refers to the growing economic interdependence of countries worldwide through the increasing volume and variety of cross-border transactions in goods and services and of international capital flows, and also through more rapid and widespread diffusion of technology. Then the final globalization definition is from the UNESCO. According to them, globalization can be defined as a set of economic, social, technological, political, and cultural structures and processes arising from the changing character of the production, consumption, and trade of goods and assets that comprises the base of the international political economy. History of globalization has many phases. Actually, globalization started with the voyage of Columbus. Through Silk Road, people share their knowledge, ideas, culture and beliefs. Trade of spices was happened from the 7th to 15th centuries by the Islamic merchant in the Middle East and they were very much focusing on international trade. World War One is another important event in the history of globalization. The war ended in the fifth significant era of increasing economic ties among the nations and thereby shaped the economic history of the 20th century. After instructions like the European Union and other free trade vehicles championed by the US were responsible for much of this increase in international trade. Nonetheless, after declining global trade during the Great Depression, development after World War II, including population growth, technological advances, and the promotion of global trade by leading powers of capital world, have all led to further rapid economic of globalization. Even though there are several discussions and views with regarding to the history of globalization, Thomas L. Friedman introduced three phases of globalization. According to him, the first phase is countries globalization, and in the second one, there were companies globalization, and at present, we can see individuals globalization. It's important to know what are the essential conditions for globalization. The first one is the business freedom. There should not be unnecessary government restrictions which come in the way of globalization, like import restrictions, restriction on sourcing finance or other factors from abroad, foreign investment, etc. The next one is facilities. All the globalization businesses need adequate level of infrastructure facilities to develop home country to globally. Then the next factor is government support. Although unnecessary government intervention hinders globalization, government support can be encourage globalization. Government support may take from the policy and procedures reforms, development of facilities, R&D support, as well as financial market reforms, and so on. Then, it's important to have resources. It is one of the most important factors which often decide the ability of a firm to globalize. Resourceful companies may find it easier to trust ahead in the global market. These resources include finance, technology, R&D capabilities, managerial expertise, company and brand image, human resources, etc. Then, the competitiveness. The competitive advantage of the company is very important to determine the success in the global business. A firm may derive competitive advantage from any one or more of the factors such as low cost and prices, product quality, product differentiation, technological superiority, after-sales service, marketing strength, etc. Then the final one is the orientation. A global orientation on the part of the business firm and suitable globalization strategies are essential for globalization. The first one is higher standard of living. Lower prices, better quality, and higher income help to enhance the consumption and living standard of people, particularly in developing countries. Also, increased economic development enable the government to provide better welfare facilities like education, health, and sanitization, etc. The next one is access to new markets. Globalization offers large markets to domestic producers. Domestic firms can export their surplus output, They can understand the nature of foreign markets through direct and indirect marketing channels. Domestic firms can realize higher prices from foreign markets. Global operation help to improve public image, which in help of attracting better talent. Then the next one is better products at lower prices. Global competition in the markets lead to both quality and affordability. Globalization can reduce price differences between countries. Free trade and international competition help to equalize price levels in international markets. International outsourcing and subcontracting help to improve operational efficiency and reduce cost. Also, the outsourcing of work can contribute to lower prices as many companies hire foreign laborers to the work for low pay. The next one is higher production. Globalization lead to spread up manufacturing facilities in different countries. Firms with worldwide contract can outsource funds, technology, distribution, and other functions from anywhere in the world. They can negotiate subcontracting to remain focused on areas of their have core competencies. Then the next one is increased flow of capital. The economic benefits of globalization, too much of the world, are hard to ignore. Increased trade to larger and more diverse markets reduce in greater revenues and increase gross domestic product. Globalization also means that businesses can realize greater profit by tapping into previously untouched markets and take the advantages of lower local cost. By expanding into new countries, business reach markets that they can achieve higher revenues in unsaturated markets while saving more money via lower cost structures that results from cheap labor, rent and materials. Then the cross-cultural exchange. You know that we can see the cross-cultural exchange of ideas, food, music, media and languages. Individuals who travel around the world for businesses or leisure and try different foods, listen to different music, read different books, gain exposure to the world, different media outlets, and learn to express themselves even poorly in another language, gain a broader perspective on the world. Their new knowledge helps developing stronger empathy and aspiration for people of other cultures. The final one is spread of technology and innovation. The technology is one of the top advantages of globalization. Developing countries often appeal to investors because of the huge potential for growth. When medical practitioners from around the world came together through Doctors Without Borders in cooperation with the World Health Organization and worked to eradicate COVID-19, they prepared an antigen kit afterward and developing guidelines for dealing with the infection. They share these materials worldwide to help hospitals deal with this illness. So, I hope that you have a better understanding with regard into the globalization and its benefits. Even though there are several benefits, there are some challenges of globalization as well. First one is interdependence. Globalization increases interdependence between nations of the world. As a result, economic sovereignty and control over the domestic economy are reduced. There is a danger of foreign economic dominance over developing economies. Unemployment. Globalization leads to restructuring industries. Due to technological upgradation and focus on the areas of competitive advantage, create unemployment and underemployment among low-skilled workers. Environmental degradation. Globalization increases global consumer demand. This sparks an increase in production to meet demand. Increase in production means increase in pressure on the environment and faster depletion of natural resources. Threat to domestic industry. Globalization leads to the establishment of manufacturing and marketing facilities by multinational developing countries. The domestic firms in these countries fail to face these tremendous multinational companies. As a result, they sell out to foreign firms. Cheap imports from China and other countries also kill domestic businesses, particularly in the small sector. Availability of high-quality foreign products reduce the demand for domestic products and domestic production eroded. Technological dependence. Globalization offers a ready-made foreign technology. Foreign technologies are available at high cost and often are not adaptable to local conditions. Developing countries become technologically dependent on developed countries. Next one, loss of cultural identity. Globalization promotes consumption patterns and lifestyles which are inconsistent with the local culture and its values. Globalization can lead to those loss of cultural identity because of several reasons. The main example is the language. We all aware that English has become the dominant language and it has marginalized some of other languages. Young people are wearing modernized Western clothes and as a result, the traditional clothes are becoming obsolete and being eroded. Multinational companies impose American or European consumer trends all over the other cultures. Western promotes its culture and as having more worth or being more corrected than other regions' cultural values. Due to these reasons, even though there are benefits of globalization, sometimes we can see it has been outrageous due to the challenges. In the next section of the video, I would like to pay your attention on international business. In this area, we are going to learn the introduction, benefits and issues of international businesses. The international business is the purchasing and selling of the goods, commodities and services outside its national borders. Such trade modes might be owned by the state or privately owned organizations. In the next section of the video, I would like to pay your attention on international business. In this area, we are going to learn the introduction, benefits and issues of international businesses. Now it's time to identify the benefits of international businesses. International businesses is important to both nation and business organizations. Let's see what are the benefits to nation. It encourages to obtain foreign exchange. It promotes specialization of the production of commodities in the best and affordable way. It also helps a country in enhancing its development prospects and create opportunities for employment. It helps in improving the standard of life. Now let's identify what are the benefits to firm. It helps in improving profits. It helps the organization in utilizing their surplus resources and increasing profitability of their activities. It also helps firms in enhancing their development prospects. It enhances the business vision and facilitates diversification as well. Issues of the international businesses can be categorized into 5 categories: legal issues, language issues, cultural barriers, supervisory oversight, and political problems. Our final session of the video is Global Business Environment. Global business environment can be defined as the environment in different sovereign countries with factors exogenous to the home environment of the organization, influencing decision making on resource use and capabilities. There are many factors of global business environment: economic environment, political environment, legal environment, social and cultural environment, technological environment, as well as taxation environment. Thanks for watching. We will meet again with another interesting topic of global business environment. Till that, stay safe, stay happy. If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos, hit the subscribe button. And if you have something to say, please leave a comment.